on my feed popped up a video by Tanika's 2 Cents covering inmate behavior reports for Sarah Boone. Particularly, they are post conviction, just before her sentencing, and just after her sentencing. And I find that fascinating because we are going to get to see if Sarah Boone has changed any. Maybe she's a new woman. Now, if you haven't watched it before, I'll have a link to Tanika's 2 Cents' channel. Particularly, I'll do the video covering the reports I'm going to talk about. She actually talked about more things in these reports. There's a lot of coverage of Sarah Boone on there that I had not seen before, and I've actually been binge watching it when I have the spare moments. But we'll get more into that after we cover what happened. So, negative officer contact, 11/26/2024. I advise all inmates that B dorm will be on lockdown per Sergeant Orts while conducting shower by bunk number. Inmate Sarah Boone approached the desk and stated in a demanding tone, "I would like to know why we are on lockdown." I told Inmate Boone that the dorm is on lockdown and returned to her bed. Inmate Boone once again in a demanding tone stated, "I want to know why we are on lockdown." I gave Inmate Boone a directive to return to her bed. She did not comply. I gave her a second verbal order to report to her bed and lower her tone. She compelled, probably means complied. A few seconds later, I observed Inmate Boone on the kiosk. I gave her a verbal order to return to her bed. She stated, "I'm checking the time," and walked to her bed. I gave Inmate Boone a directive order. If she continues to get out of her bed and speak in a demanding tone, further disciplinary action will be taken. Negative officer contact, 11/30/2024. So this is just a few days before sentencing. Inmate Sarah Boone is receiving this negative for continuously arguing with inmate Samantha Benson in the bunk area. Now, I want to be clear. I had an expectation that this could be possibly racial. We've seen quite a bit about Sarah Boone, and that was what my mind immediately went to. I tried to find this inmate, any information on their case, and I could not verify what color of skin tone they are. I did verify that earlier in the year, someone with the exact same name was booked, so it had a different booking number, and they were black, but it could be the same person who was booked later again. It could be a different person entirely. Just thought I would mention it if you were wondering. I couldn't find out the answer. Maybe someone else can. After being asked to cease the noise, Inmate Boone continued threatening Inmate Benson. Sarah Boone is threatening other inmates in jail. All inmates were given dorm expectations at the beginning of shift. Inmates were informed if they could not follow directions, they would face discipline. It should be noted that other inmates have informed me that Inmate Boone and her friends are trying to get Inmate Benson in trouble purposefully so she can be moved. So, it is not shocking to hear that Sarah is trying to get someone in trouble with law enforcement so she can get her way. She did that with George. She's still continuing it in jail. The shocking part is Sarah Boone and her friends, because who is deciding to be friends with Sarah Boone? Has she formed a cult yet? I'm being serious when I think she's going to try to become a cult leader eventually. I think that's where she's going to go with this. But just it's not shocking. I don't know what phrase I want to do it. It's angering that Sarah Boone is still pulling the same stuff she did with George in jail. Post conviction. If anyone thought Sarah Boone's going to learn something, she hasn't. Now, inmate Boone had the opportunity to move to a different bunk, but she refused. Of course she did. Inmate Boone was counseled about this issue. Corporal McCullen has been notified of this situation. Negative earned. Now, we also have negative officer contact, 12/5/2024. So we are post-sentencing now, just a few days after she got life. During the first half cell inspecting, inmate Sarah Boone became argumentative with staff. It was explained to her that there were staffing limitations affecting day room time. Despite multiple orders to stop, she continued to disrupt the dorm by yelling at staff. She was counseled about her behavior and informed that it would not be tolerated. As a result, she will be receiving a negative on her notebook, negative earned. And the talk here is of cell, which is suggesting maybe she's in a single cell now. But that location seems to have not lasted long, because the next day, information 12/06/2024, inmate Sarah Boone was relocated to cell K12, which if you look behind me, she still is, due to inmates complaining about not getting her right for her 1 hour out cell time during the night shift. And I don't really know exactly what that's supposed to mean. I have a guess. My guess is that possibly these single cells, every inmate is told to do X, Y, Z, stay put, and then they'll open a selection of the cells for 1 hour. You get a little bit of time to move about, and then you go back in and they repeat for the another part of the dorm, maybe. So not everyone's out at once. That would be my guess. And maybe Sarah just isn't complying, and it is slowing down release of other inmates, leading to complaints, leading to anger. Maybe they're threatening Sarah, and they've decided just for her safety, for easiness, it's better just move her to a whole other area away from these same people, and maybe she'll behave this time. I don't think she will. Now, that was the end of the behavioral notes I want to talk about. There's a bunch of mixed in there. Refused breakfast. Now, with that being said, I'm sadly going to also tell you that the woman who did the video appearance at Sarah Boone's sentencing, the one that Sarah offered a kidney to, that she knew she'd never be able to give her, she did sadly give Sarah money, over $100 in November. So Sarah does have money coming in. As I said, I have Tanika 2 Cents' video actually in the pinned comment. Definitely check it out. She goes more into who's sending her money, because it's all public, who's actually contacting her as well. But also, felt like I need to mention, if you're wondering where her commissary money goes, a lot of brown sugar Pop-Tarts, a lot of Big Texas cinnamon rolls, a lot of Butterfingers, a lot of Three Musketeers, sugar substitutes, and of course, baby lotion. So, with all that said, I thank you for tuning in. I do apologize if you watched the previous premiere. The audio issues were not on my end. I was out. I tested the video. Audio was fine. Everything seemed fine. I submitted it to YouTube, and I set a premiere time. I went out to go do shopping for Christmas dinner, and for myself. And when I went to go do that, I was informed by the chat the sound was messed up. The sound was messed up. I could hear it. So I stopped it, came back, and it's on YouTube's end. So I decided just to redo the whole video. I was afraid if I re-uploaded it, it's still going to have the same issues. So I just redid it. Little channel update. I really do want to cover Lori Daybell, but the chances of me getting to cover her before Christmas, which would be better for like promote, like, you know, better for me in a lot of ways, like ad revenue, of course, goes down after the holidays, stuff like that. Someone mentioned, I mentioned my pipe issues, my plumbing issues. Someone mentioned time to get the toolbox out. No. This is a time to get the excavator out, the backhoe out. It's bad. It's outside. It's cold. It's wet. It's a problem. And that's taking a lot of my time. And the same person that's fixing that is going to be fixing the heat, but the water issue is being done first. So it's a lot of stuff, piled on a lot of stuff. And when they're here working on it, it's loud. I can't concentrate. I concentrate enough to do like a video on Lori Daybell and write notes or record it because it'll be too loud. And then if I'm up late where it's quiet time, you know, I can do it. Then I'm tired when they show up early in the morning, which is what's been happening. Sorry, I hit my monster there. If you could hear that. But so that's probably not going to happen. I'm probably not going to get it done before Christmas like I was hoping. I was hoping to get it done by like before Christmas Eve, so like I could get it out there for if anyone wanted to listen to it, maybe as like traveling, you know, have it on there. I guess you could listen back to some of the Sarah Boone stuff. YouTube has gone back and corrected their mistake when it comes to like the restrictions they put on the Sarah Boone 33-hour long video and some other stuff. So YouTube seems to be correcting whatever that is, but I guess they now had audio issues when I upload, so now I have to be worried about that. So good, you know, whatever. With that being said, yeah, I'm really sorry for the issues. I decided to redo the whole video because I don't know. It could have just been a problem on YouTube's end with that one upload, and I re-upload and it's fine. But I'm just gonna redo it. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna make sure it sounds good. Because now when I listen back to the video after returning home, the video I had premiering, it sounds fine. So I'm gonna have to listen to it before the premiere starts to make sure the audio is good to then premiere it. It might just be a processing issue on YouTube's end that's screwed up. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Definitely check out Tanika's 2 cents. I'm going to be probably listening to the channel quite a bit on like Sarah Boone stuff I haven't covered myself, because there's some stuff there. Because I'll just listen to that while I have like construction noises in the background, probably, while I wait for all that to get done in the coming days. But of course, with the holiday coming up, it's hard to get pipes and parts and things and get people out to do work, you know. So trying to get a lot done in a little amount of time, but I think that's pretty much a good update right now with everything. I can't think of anything else to really bring up. Lori Daybell is definitely probably my next video target, but I want to like I've been informed some good places to get information of the trial and what transpired. So I'm going to have to just take time when it's a little more quiet and I can concentrate, take notes, and really absorb it. And hopefully make a really good video for that, so that anyone who's interested, when she represents herself in, I believe, March, they can be fully aware. Because just like with Sarah Boone, new people find out every single day.